On October 16th, the day before UVU's fall break began, I sat in the Clark building with hundreds of other students. People stood around talking to friends, staring at their phones, or finishing up homework on their laptops. Then, a mysterious girl approached the benches near the lecture halls on the first floor. She dropped tiny scraps of paper on the empty seats and swiftly moved on. By the time I looked down at the piece of paper and back up in confusion, she was gone. The flyer pictured One Direction member Harry Styles smiling at the camera with one hand cupping his own pregnant belly.
So over the past week, students have found hundreds of these little white pieces of paper across campus. But this isn't your typical flyer. It's the photo on the piece of paper that's really getting people's attention.
A defaced pop star and a lot of confusion.
I think it's hilarious, and I think it's weird too. This girl walked by just dropping little miniatures of Harry Styles pregnant. I feel like it can't just be one person.
So whether it's a prank or something more complex, we may never know.
Hi, I'm Olivia Diaz, a staff reporter with the UVU Review, and this is A Very Hairy Mystery. As I mentioned in episode 1, after my initial sighting, we began to receive dozens of reports of similar incidents across Utah County. One response caught my attention. It was from Taylor Steele, a custodian here at UVU.
The first time I saw the pictures was, I think, a couple weeks before, like, the brunt of it really happened. And at first, they just were showing up, like, just a couple at a time, just a few in, like, the study areas. And custodial just thought it was, like, a weird thing. We were all amused by it. But then it started to blow up, and they were all of a sudden everywhere. And the vacuumers started being very annoyed because they had to clean them all up. But since I wasn't the one cleaning them up, I just got to enjoy it.
The girl responsible for the photobombs was soon dubbed the Harry Fairy. That was Hunter's idea. But we still had no idea who she was or what her motivation was. Why was she doing this? And where did this picture come from? The second question is easy enough to figure out. Searching the code on the side of these images leads to the image itself and the tweet the picture first appeared in. A Twitter user with the name Encyclopedia, screen name Lyra, posted it in 2015 in response to other One Direction member Louis Tomlinson announcing his girlfriend's pregnancy. It was popular at the time to ship Harry and Louis, with hundreds of fan theories about their forbidden romance dominating One Direction fan fiction and discussion boards. So with the origins of the picture somewhat clearer, we move on to the trickier question. Who is the Harry Fairy? One reply to my tweet featured two pictures taken on someone's phone. A Twitter user with the screen name Mike shared these images, taken in the Fulton Library at UVU. The pictures show a girl who seems to be average height, wearing her hair in a loose, messy bun, and, more curiously, wearing sunglasses inside the building. Mike claims that this girl is the one he saw passing out the pieces of paper with pregnant Harry Styles on them. This was our first clue as to the identity of the Harry Fairy. Even after posting this picture in my online article back in October, no one came forward as the fairy or with any information about her identity. Without a better view of this girl or anyone coming forward, there was really no way to figure out who she was. That is, until she got bold.
We were here for the publication fair that was going on. There were a bunch of different publications around campus, and we were tabling just right inside of center stage, right? And it was like around noon. We were talking to some people. I wasn't paying much attention, and then like suddenly we just had a bunch of Harry Styles photos blown into our faces.
After this photobombing, Zach made a split-second decision.
So they blow the pictures into our face, and they run out. And I was taken a little aback. I didn't know what to do, and I start chasing after them. So they run up from the ramp, and I give chase down this hallway. And the two of them together, she has her hair up in the high bun, the dark sunglasses on. So we don't know who she is, but we do know that this is the person that, we've been investigating. This is the Harry Fairy. And so we keep on chasing down the hallway, and I'm yelling after her. I'm going, hey, stop, please. We just want some information. We just want to know why you're doing it. We don't want to know who you are. Doesn't stop, of course. But, it wasn't all fruitless, even though we didn't catch her. We can figure out who she might be, what's going on. There's definitely more information that we can get from this.
The mysterious Harry Fairy had disappeared into thin air. Her accomplice refused to talk. It seemed like we were out of new information and had no other clues as to who this girl was. However, we realized that the UVU Review could request footage from security cameras on campus under the Government Records and Access Management Act, or GRAMA. And wouldn't you know it, there were cameras every few feet along the hallway where Zach chased the Harry Fairy.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. In our next episode of A Very Hairy Mystery, we'll be investigating the identity of the Harry Fairy.
From the UVU Review, I'm Olivia Diaz.
And I'm Hunter Locke, signing off.
Hey guys, we just got something.
What do we
Someone
got?
dropped this off and this photo came out.
Oh my god.